in our county played out to, it played out to about 12 local campuses that were part of the UC system and also CSU. We had private universities, Point Loma Nazarene, USD, as well as the UC system. And we also invited our colleagues from San Diego Community College District, Palomar College, Miracosta College, and so on and so forth. So that's essentially where it's mapped out. And later I'll talk about our specific threats in our county, but most of those campuses also live in a very real threat, a credible threat is the Rose Canyon Fault in our county. And so I just also think it's interesting that many of the campus locations also are incredibly close to some realistic risks in our county. So in any event, this was back in December 2007 where we had this one-day forum, and many of you who were in the room possibly heard or were invited to attend if you're from San Diego County. And at that forum, our Director of Office Emergency Services, Ron Lane, asked the campuses how many had a current notification system in place. And out of the 12 campuses that were represented, only one had the ability to notify students in a timely manner with that technology. And as a result of the one-day forum, we offered the use of existing county technology. The county had already purchased a mass notification system, emergency notification system, which we call Alert San Diego. And so at that forum, we offered the use to all the campuses present in the room if they would be interested in signing an MOU to use current county technology. And then you could also, many campuses chose to have our system as a backup. They had already maybe been in the works of purchasing or notifying, working with vendors. And so we just thought, again, as Art already mentioned, no single system will provide everything that you need. And so we really need redundancy and multi-layered approach. So it was at no cost to you, the campus, to sign an MOU. And all it would basically require is that you maintain your own database. As the semesters change and the student body turns over, faculty and staff leave, this campus would be responsible for maintaining their own database. And if there was an incident on campus that you needed to use the system, you would be responsible for paying only for those calls that went out. And we had already invested in technology. It was no additional cost for the campuses to use, and knock on wood, luckily, I don't think any campus has used it for a significant event since that time. At that point, a couple of campuses expressed interest, and since then we've had 2 additional campuses sign MOUs with the county. And that's for the emergency notification system side. What we also offered was the use of what we use in our region is WebEOC, which is Crisis Information Software. And what the campuses had told us at that one-day forum was that during the recent firestorms, which occurred in October 2007 in our county, a lot of campuses were finding it hard to get information to the student body and to protect their campus community. They were watching the news, monitoring the news like everyone, and then regurgitating the information that was being put out by the media to formulate messages to student body, faculty, and staff. And we found that ineffective. What we decided instead, and based on the feedback that you all gave at that forum, was that you would want to maintain situational awareness direct from the source, direct from the County Operations Center, direct from the Joint Information Center. And so what we did in WebEOC is create a college hub where all the campuses could sign on if there was an event going on at Miracosta College that San Diego Community College wanted to monitor, that they could sign on and create situational awareness and post information to this board. If the campus so deemed to push it up to the college hub, then only local campuses that were signed on could see that information. Or during a regional event, if it became bigger, then they could push it from the college hub up to countywide significant events. And then we'd be able to share information that way. So WebEOC is a whole different technology, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. The bottom line is that during a regional event, campus administrators and public safety personnel could see what the county was posting, real-time, valid, correct, accurate information that would eventually, ultimately save lives and protect the property of all the residents, not only on campuses, but your own families and so on. So in any event, those were the 2 big nuggets from that first day forum in December 2007. At that point, the attendees also expressed interest in meeting more on a quarterly basis. So since December 2007, I have called quarterly meetings, and again, it's just not the county telling you guys how to do your job. It's sharing of best practices, having an ongoing dialogue, how we found it valuable in a recent incident to do something or other and share that information with you and vice versa. A lot of the UC system campus emergency managers meet individually, same with CSU. Sometimes they collaborate and they meet on their own, same with the community college districts. I know you all meet together, but it was that dialogue with the local emergency management agency and us providing you an insight what's happening in the region. And we don't know the unique situations that occur on a campus environment. We have no knowledge of what you do day in and day out. And so we needed to learn from you what we could do better before, as people say, the excrement hits the ventilation, what we could do before to have a proactive, forward-leaning approach to help you do your job, which is basically ensure the safety of your own campus community. So with that, I'll just tell you a little bit more. Since that time, we've also engaged. I offered a earthquake tabletop exercise to the campus emergency managers in May, and then many campuses stood up their emergency operations center in support of Golden Guardian, and we're bringing training to the region. We're hosting various workshops for campus executives and Homeland Security personnel at campuses, and if it's, I'm not sure how in your own area or your region what the situation is like, but in San Diego County, many campus emergency managers are wearing multiple hats. They are not only the chief of police, but they are also expected to write the entire emergency operations plan for their campus. Or maybe they're not the chief of police, but they're a lieutenant who is also on the line day in and day out and also responsible. Emergency managers are far and few between, especially for not only campuses, but also cities, municipalities, and so on and so forth. So we wanted to make sure that anything that the county could do, since we do have 9 full-time emergency services coordinators on staff, that we could make your job easier, provide templates, provide training, just knowing where to go if you needed to send a liaison. If your city had an incident, like in LA, do you know where your city EOC is? If you had to send a campus liaison to get firsthand information, have you been to the EOC? Do you know who to call? Those types of things is what we wanted to think about in a forward-leaning manner. So it's my goal to continue to sustain this dependable partnership, and I essentially work for all of you in San Diego County. Anything that they need, I'm available to research, and questions about CalEMA I can push up quickly as well. The community colleges is a unique environment because you have that direct link to the state, but you also, as someone already referenced, all emergencies are local. So I would encourage you, if you don't know your county emergency manager or city emergency manager, to initiate a dialogue and see if meetings can be present, and also find out what existing technology they may already have in place. Because in our county, we didn't want campuses, if they so desired, they could purchase a new system, but we already had the existing resources and we wanted to share them. So in conclusion, there's my contact information. I'll be available after the panel to discuss further and share ideas. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or contact me at any time. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dave Furman. I'm with the Ventura County Community College District. I'm the Associate Vice Chancellor over Information Technology. I became involved in safety in early 2007. I worked for the district from 1986 to 1995 and got tired of the politics and left for 12 years and became a private consultant in the IT sector and came back in 2007. And with that, right about the time I came back is when the Virginia Tech tragedy happened. And my office just happens to be adjacent to the chief of police for the district. So our district has 3 campuses spread over Ventura County, over 36,000 students. The full-time equivalent students is about 27,000. So we have a lot of people coming in and out of our campus starting at 7 a.m. and there as late as 11 p.m. So we have a lot of safety issues there. But literally within 2 weeks of the Virginia Tech tragedy happening, our chief of police started getting phone calls and emails and brochures in the mail from vendors coming out of the woodwork with different technologies for campus safety to address that. So he being next door to me would come over and start asking questions. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I was working with my staff to evaluate some of the things. And we had not had a good relationship with the police departments, or at least my predecessor had not. to where there was a lot of friction there, but I decided to try and work with the chief to figure